It seems everyone is struggling in one way or another these days, especially as we near the holidays, but there are ways to get out from under.
Now, one of the main purposes of bankruptcy law is to give a person who is hopelessly burdened with debt a fresh start by wiping out his or her debt. And here to explain the options available is Richard Allaye Chan. Good to see you, Richard.
Hi, how are you?
Now, Richard, a lot of people have always considered bankruptcy to be the very last resort. What do you have to say about that?
You know, I wish I could tell them it's the first option they should take. It's really, federal law and bankruptcy law is a tool to beat back the harassing phone calls, the creditors calling constantly day and night. And let's face facts, anybody who's having financial trouble who's 30 days late, you're getting those creditor collection calls and phone calls day and night at work, and they'll do anything. They'll embarrass you, they'll harass you, they'll intimidate you. And the bankruptcy code allows people to stop those calls cold.
And people are already stressed. You don't need that stress in your life.
It is no way to live. It's like a financial prison.
Richard, what kind of debt can be eliminated when you apply for bankruptcy?
You can eliminate all your unsecured debt, all of it. Medical bills, credit card bills, old Blockbuster bills, car repossession, deficiency judgments. You can get rid of it all, 100% of it.
Now, how long does it take?
90 days, start to finish.
90 days.
That's right.
That's pretty quick.
And when you look at, folks that are facing so much pressure, Richard, you hear a lot about credit counseling. Should someone maybe try that first as a bridge, maybe?
I'll tell you, I think that's a scam. And the problem is this. What they do is they tell people, say you have $50,000 in debt, give us 15%. They'll charge you $5 grand to $7,500 to try and settle your $50,000 in debt. The problem is it takes years. You end up getting creditor calls for an entire year, if not longer. And when the thing is done, you still end up paying back much of your debt. Versus bankruptcy costs a fraction of the cost, takes 90 days, and you'll wipe out 100% of your debt. You pay back nothing.
Now, a lot of people out there, if they're considering bankruptcy, they have a lot of questions. What happens to their retirement funds?
Nothing. You keep it. 100% of your retirement is protected under the bankruptcy code. And what's very sad is a lot of people will go and they'll liquidate the retirement accounts to pay off these credit card companies that are ripping them off, charging them 28%, when really if they would have come and talked to me, I could have told them you could protect your retirement, 100% of it, and still wipe out all the debt.
What happens to people's possessions? Because I think that's probably a concern you worry about, what you'll lose if you file.
Sure, and the vast majority of my clients keep all of their possessions, all of them. It's that simple.
Wow. And when another concern I'd imagine would be too about the credit score?
That's an interesting thing. Credit scores are measured by, one of the main things is debt to income ratio. So let's say you have a job and your income is here, but your debt is way out of whack, it's up here. And what happens when you file bankruptcy, your income stays the same, but you take your debt and it drops down to zero. So it brings your debt to income ratio back in line and actually makes your credit score go up.
Wow.
Now, if people have gotten to this point, wouldn't their credit score already be kind of
in the tank?
Yeah.
It would. The vast majority of my clients, their credit score is already in the tank. And that's exactly my point. Because bankruptcy, what it has the effect of doing is bringing your debt to income ratio back in line and you rebuild your credit. In 90 days, when a bankruptcy is done, you start to rebuild your credit.
Richard, around the holiday, so many people are feeling financial pressure. They want to make a perfect holiday. They want to do so much.
Give gifts.
Do you find maybe, as they start the new year fresh, that bankruptcy would be a good way to, kick off 2010?
It is a great way to do it. Because the reality is if you file your bankruptcy in 2009, you can be debt-free in 2010. And you'll start to rebuild your credit. And the reality is, it takes you a few years to rebuild your credit. But the sooner you start that, the better off you're going to be. All these other options in terms of debt settlement and credit counseling, those processes go on for years, at least one, if not two or three. And the problem is your credit is hammered the entire time. You don't start rebuilding your credit until all your debt is gone. And bankruptcy will get rid of your debt in 90 days.
So Richard, if someone comes in to see you or gives you a call, is there any particular information that they need to have at their fingertips?
No, just call and set up an appointment. You can come in and meet with me in my office. It's a free consultation. And we can talk about what your options are. And it doesn't cost you anything to come in and talk to me. And one of the really funny things is, I use this analogy a lot. If your house is on fire, you call the fire department. If your house is flooding, you get out of your house. But when your financial house is in shambles and creditors are calling 15 times a day at home working on your cell phone, people sit at home and they think to themselves, well, it'll get better tomorrow. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. So you should use the bankruptcy code as a tool to beat back the creditors and get a fresh start.
So how do people call you to start the process, Richard?
You can call us at 888-446-4333 or visit us online at acbankruptcy.com.
Okay, and there are all of your locations as well. All right, Richard, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
We
Richard.
appreciate it.
Have a good holiday as well.